Welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. My name is Dr. Brooklyn Storme, and I help private practice owners align their business back with their soul's calling, with their big vision and with their soul's purpose. Unlike other private practice coaches, I've traveled the world in search of spiritual resources, spiritual tools, education and information so that you can have the transformation that your soul desires and needs so that you can up-level your business. How much fun is this? I love it so much. Guys, if you're not already a member of the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group, please check out the show notes. I would love for you to be there. In the meantime, thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. I'm so pleased that you're here. Thank you so much for pushing play on another episode. And I just wanted to say the numbers seem to have exploded a little bit this week. So I just wanted to quickly give shout outs to where we have our listeners. So thank you very much. Canada, Ontario, thank you, British Columbia, Alberta, I don't know how to say this, Saskatchewan, and Quebec, thank you so much. Oh, and Nova Scotia, thank you so much. And thank you, Washington, Idaho, Oregon, California, yay, Nevada, hello, Utah, hello, Arizona, hello, lots from Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, wow, quite a few from Texas, hi ladies, Louisiana, hi, how you going, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, hi, Florida, hello, Florida, wow, lots from Florida, lots from Georgia, thank you, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, wowee, Tennessee, hi, Kentucky, hi, Kentucky, Virginia, hello, well done, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, nice to meet you, New York, hi, Connecticut, thank you and welcome, New Hampshire, welcome, Maine, welcome, thank you so much, Illinois, thank you, Wisconsin, wow, so many from Wisconsin, thank you so much, Michigan, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, thank you. Did I say Ohio? I hope I did. I hope I didn't leave anybody out there. Alaska. Wow, thank you so much, Alaska. Thank you. And Hawaii, thank you so much. And of course, Australia. We've got everywhere. We've got Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria. Hi. Tassie, thank you. South Australia, thank you so much. Western Australia, thank you so much. I think the only one not in my home country actually is the Northern Territory. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody, and just having a look at my different countries here. India, huge. Thank you so much, India. I really appreciate it. And the United Kingdom, thank you so much. And Brazil and Peru. Oh my gosh. Hi, Peru. How you going? Chile. Hi, Chile. How you going? Oh my gosh, I could do this forever. Russia, thank you. Germany, thank you. Sweden, thank you. Oh my gosh. Too many to mention. If I've left you off, I'll try and come back to it next time. Oh, of course, New Zealand. Hi, neighbours. How you going? Okay, so thank you so much. Now, today I've had a question about how do you find a good supervisor, and that's a great question. I love receiving the questions. It gives me my content to answer. So today we're not talking too much about masculine and feminine, but I will connect this back to, of course, law of attraction and energy for you. Because of course we're all spiritual women here, aren't we, running our private practices, and this is our jam. This is what makes us different to everybody else. Okay, so first of all, if you're a coach, you might not be familiar with this term. So when you work in allied health as a counsellor, a social worker, a psychologist, a psychotherapist, an LFT, all of those sorts of roles, you usually, depending on which country you're in, need to have somebody that supports you, and that person is called a supervisor. And the role of the supervisor, depending on where you are, it's usually the same though, is to help you be working in a way that ticks off all your admin requirements, make sure that's all done, supports you in working legally and ethically in a way that is in accordance with your particular membership bodies, if you're in one, code of practice and code of conduct and all that sort of stuff. They will also talk with you about case debriefs and provide you with guidance when you're getting stuck around, maybe clients who aren't progressing, or even private practice things, like they can help you with marketing and things like that. So normally, and again, this differs from country to country and body to body, but normally there's a minimum requirement of the number of supervision hours you need to have in a year, and that's anywhere from 10 plus. And usually there'll be a requirement that, depending on your workload. So if you see, say, 20 clients a week, then you would need to increase the number of supervision hours that you are completing that year. And one of the other things that you do is you keep a record of your supervision. So you have a supervision contract or a supervision agreement. You keep a logbook, you keep your notes, your supervisor keeps their notes, all that sort of stuff. And from time to time, you'll be asked to provide this to your body just so that they can check that you're complying with all of your requirements to maintain your membership. So I think it's really important to help you with this question. And what I was asked was, how do you know how to choose, a good supervisor? What's a good supervisor? And I think that that's such a great question, but at the same time, it's a very, very personal question. And so I was in my morning meditation this morning asking myself, how can I support these women in finding the right supervisor, or in finding a good supervisor? And the guidance I received was that it's not so much finding, the world's best supervisor. It's finding a supervisor that's a good fit for you. I guess kind of like our clients have to find a good coach or therapist for them. We all know what we're doing. We're all qualified, but we all work a little bit differently. It's the same with supervisors. Your supervisor absolutely must be qualified. Do not hand over your hard-earned money to somebody who's calling themselves a supervisor but doesn't have any qualification, education, experience, or training to back it up. And you would be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't check, okay? Because there are people, unfortunately, out there who are offering supervision services, but they've never done a day of training in their lives, and they don't have any experience and stuff like that. And you do have a professional responsibility to make sure that your supervisor ticks all of your requirements so that you are meeting your requirements. Wouldn't it be just a horrible position for you to be in, to have your logbook or, your work needs to be submitted so it can be checked and audited by your membership body. And then they say, hey, why did you go and work with, this person? They're not even a qualified supervisor. So do your due diligence. A good supervisor who does have a certificate or a qualification or a degree or something like that will happily tell you that they're qualified. But it's going to be on you if you don't check, and you don't want to get yourself into hot water. So of course, check that they're qualified. But I think in addition to that, there are so many supervisors, just like there are so many counselors and therapists, that when it comes to choosing the right person for you to work with, I think this is really a matter of alignment. And, that's my big thing. I believe so much in energy, and I believe so much in rapport and relationships. And it's my honest opinion that you could interview 10 supervisors and they could all have different levels of qualifications, but you're going to feel a certain connection with one or two of those people, and they're the ones that I believe that you want to work with. Why? Because it's going to be a long-term investment. This is the other thing. I do not do single sessions of supervision. I don't get that at all. I believe that, and it's just my belief, but I think that it's like, why would you just book in for one counselling session? And if you're a counsellor, you know what I mean. Like, you would never just book somebody in for one session. It's always your intention to support them on their journey. And you and I both know that people get deeper outcomes and deeper transformations when they're working with you over a longer term. So I would absolutely be mindful of the relationship, like that connection that you feel. So don't just take the first supervisor that crosses your path on a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. I think, do your due diligence, interview a few different people, male and female, with all different backgrounds, and just see who you click with the best, because you want to get ready for a long-term investment. And to work with me, for example, I do require a 12-month minimum investment for supervision, and that's one session a month for 12 months. And the reason that I believe it's important to do that is so you've got consistency. I don't believe that we can support you if we don't know you, and I'm not going to know you from a single session. The other thing too is I believe it's important to have consistency in your supervision so that we get to see how you progress during a year, and we get to see how you cope, how you respond, how you work, how you operate. At the moment, there's no requirement to have it once a month or anything like that. And so in my experience, well, what I have experienced is that sometimes people will come to me and they'll say, Brooklyn, I need to book in for 6 supervision sessions because PACFA or ACA, so they're 2 counselling groups in Australia, need me to get this done by this date. So can I just book in 1 session a day for the next week? And I'm like, no. It doesn't work like that. You can't just binge have your supervision. You need to, that's kind of defeating the whole purpose of it. And I wouldn't be a good supervisor if I agreed to that. And I would not sully my reputation by signing off on a logbook that gets submitted to those organisations as evidence of a supervisor that agreed to that kind of approach to supervision. You have a responsibility to yourself, to your practice, to your clients. And I believe you want to be consistent. So whether or not you go on the first Monday of the month every month for 12 months, fine, I don't care. But you've got to be having that consistency so that we can really genuinely track how you're going, where you're at, okay? The other thing too is from time to time, you're going to come into road bumps and hiccups with a private practice, and you might think to yourself, oh, I need to see my supervisor and get some guidance on this. That's absolutely fine. Book in extra sessions if you need to along the way. That's absolutely fine. But don't be the type of counsellor or therapist that only books supervision when there's a crisis, because you're not going to improve how you work as a therapist, and you're not going to improve your private practice, and you're not going to improve how you work with your clients, which kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? So they're just some things to consider. But of course, the other things that other people will tell you is think about your values and make sure they align with the supervisors. Think about the approach that you like and make sure that matches up with the supervisors. Know your goals, etc., etc. But that's all great, and I think that's all really important stuff. But I also want to add some things onto that. I would like you to sit down and do some reflection for yourself and think, when it comes to private practice, what kinds of things do I tell myself? What does that little voice inside my head tell myself about what it means for me to be running a private practice? And let's just allow the gremlins to come out and write it down on your piece of paper. And then I want you to think, how do I feel? How do I feel emotionally about my private practice? Is it stressing me out? Am I feeling reactive instead of in control? Am I feeling excited by it? Am I feeling lit up? Am I feeling dread? Am I feeling tired and like I just can't? So be aware of how you're feeling. And if you want, also notice when I think about my private practice, if I allow myself to take a breath, put my hand on my heart and just tune into my body, what do I notice in my body? Do I notice any sensations at all? Do I notice, I don't know, tension in my shoulders? Do I notice clenching in my jaw? Do I notice that my heart rate slows down because I'm actually quite calm? Do I notice that I smile because I'm really happy about my private practice? So allow yourself to tune in and just see where you feel it in your body. And I think too, do any images come to mind when you think about your private practice? If you're someone who struggles with the body and verbalizing things, maybe you're a bit more artistic, and think about, can you think of an image that might represent how you feel in private practice and write that down? Another thing that I would encourage you to do is explore what you say to other people about private practice and what it's like to be in private practice. And just raise your awareness around that. Jot that down on your piece of paper and just think the last few conversations you've had with people about business, whether it was a partner, a family member, a friend, another colleague. Just jot down some of the things you remember saying about what it's like to run a private practice and to be a private practice owner, a woman in private practice. So I think that's a really, really good place to start, because with that awareness, you're going to better be able to find someone that aligns with you, because you've opened yourself up now to exploring more deeply what's going on for you. Supervision doesn't just have to be about the legalities, the ethics, the admin, the private practice promotion and all of that. It can go a lot deeper if you want it to be, without it being therapy, by the way. I guess the other thing too is, while you have that piece of paper there, I would even jot down, what's your vision for supervision? What's your vision for supervision? Sounds funny, doesn't it? But, fast forward to 12 months and think, okay, what do I want to be celebrating as a result of having worked with this person for 12 months? What do I want to be thinking now? What would I rather be feeling? What would I rather be saying to people about my private practice? How would I rather be feeling in my body when it comes to my private practice? So I want you to really future pace here, to use a marketing term, but future pace, and just imagine you've had the 12 sessions of supervision, and if you don't have a supervisor right now, that's okay. Maybe just listen to my voice and imagine you and I have worked together for 12 months, and think about what you and I would be celebrating as a result of working together. How have you changed? What's different now? How are you feeling now compared to when we first started? Are you feeling more confident? Are you feeling more abundant? Are you feeling more energetically aligned with your practice? Are you feeling like your practice has a voice finally, and it has a message? And do you feel like you're now receiving a lot of the dream referrals that you always wanted to receive because of some of the work that we've done together? So think about that. As I said, you can use me as an example if you don't have a supervisor now, but use this sort of template, these questions I've just shared with you here. You might want to press pause, go back and rewind them, but think about those questions, do the deeper work. And if you have a supervisor now, it's not too late to think about how you want things to be different for your practice. I mean, you're investing money in supervision. You want to get something out of it. It's more than just ticking it off, okay? You're not a mandated client who's been forced to go for counselling, who's just there to get it ticked off. You're a professional woman in private practice in supervision, and you should be there because you love your supervisor, you look forward to the sessions, you get so much out of them, and you know that you're growing and changing as a result, okay? So this is the other thing that comes up sometimes. People will share with me, oh, I'm not sure about the money, and I wish I had $1, honestly, for every time I've received an email that says, I want a cheap supervisor. Do you know anybody? I'm laughing. It's not even funny, is it? It's not even funny. I mean, just think, if you think about law of attraction for a moment, and you think about, what you attract with your vibe, with your energy. If you're on the prowl for the cheapest supervisor because you don't really want supervision, but you've got to get it done, you're looking for a cheap supervisor, what energy are you bringing to that supervision session? I mean, it's not very nice for the supervisor, is it, to know that they were picked because they were the cheapest, and that you're not really there because you want to get the support. You're there because they were the cheapest. And think about what they're going to be reflecting back energetically if they're aware that you only picked them because they were the cheapest. I mean, and what's that going to do to your business? It's just, don't do it. Don't do it. I think I never believe that money is the issue, okay? I don't believe that for a second. I don't get many rejections because of money. I'm fortunate to work with women who are open-minded and they're resourceful. But I think if you're a supervisor and you're getting pushback on the money, it's not about the money at all. It's about a couple of things going on there. I think your potential supervisees aren't really seeing the value in supervision, or they're not seeing the value in your supervision, because they've got to get it. So they're going to be investing the money somewhere. And if it's not with you, I would say it's because maybe not the relationship, because you should be good at building those, but I would say you haven't articulated the transformation well enough, or you haven't gotten to know them well enough on that introductory call and been able to speak into their hopes and dreams for the practice or for supervision. So there's some responsibility on you there, but I think there's also responsibility on the potential supervisee to really appreciate the role that supervision plays. I mean, it's like a coach in your corner that you get to catch up with, in my case anyway, once a month for 12 months. And you come to look forward to that time because it's just your space. I think a lot of the time as counselors and therapists and coaches, we're doing all of the talking. We're doing all of the listening and not much talking, and or at least that's how it should be, I think. And so having that supervision provides you with that space to speak freely, where you're not being judged, where you're being wholly and fully supported. So I think you want to take good energy into that supervisory relationship. You want to honour the role of supervision. You want to honour your supervisor. And honestly, if you're going to say that the money is an objection for you, I think there's more going on, and you probably really do need supervision because what do I want to say here? I've lost my train of thought. You're perhaps not seeing the value of it, and a good supervisor, perhaps if money is an issue and you're in private practice, a good supervisor will absolutely support you in finding ways to increase the turnover of your business. The other thing too is supervision is a cost of doing business now. You can't avoid it. You can't get out of it. And just looking for the cheapest one isn't probably going to be of any benefit to you, your supervisor, or your clients. And I think you've got a duty of care to clients above and beyond yourself and your supervisor to make sure you're getting quality supervision. And by that, it comes back again to making sure that somebody has the requisite qualifications to be able to support you in that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work that you're doing. So really have a good think about those things that I shared with you. It's kind of, in a way, consider it as a before and after. Look at where you're at now in terms of what do you think to yourself about private practice? What are the thoughts that go through your head when it comes to all elements of the business, like your messaging, your marketing, finding referrals, keeping up with the PD, all of those things, recruiting stuff. Think about that. Think about how it makes you feel. Think about the feelings in terms of emotional feelings, but also in terms of somatic feelings. Think about conversations you have with people around you in your circle about what it's like to run a private practice. I mean, are you complaining all the time? Like, do you come home and complain? Or do you come home and you're like, oh my gosh, I had such the best day today, and I got to see this person and they're doing so well. Of course, not sharing names, obviously, but stuff like that. And what are you doing? Like, are you blocking off your diary when you shouldn't be? Are you celebrating when you get a no-show or a cancellation? Like, what are you doing? Look at those 4 areas as to how they are now, and then imagine what you want them to be looking like after you've had your sessions with your supervisor, and use that information to help you find a supervisor that's going to be right for you. And if you have questions about supervision, I'll be more than happy to help you with them. All you have to do is just connect with me. You can do that on Facebook. I'm easy to find. It's just Brooklyn Storme. Or you can send me an email to hello@brooklynstorme.com. So I hope this was really, 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 really helpful for you. The other thing I just want to do super duper quickly is I want to give a big shout out to Susan for doing an amazing job on her website. She said after listening to the podcast on, how to improve your website, she made several additions to the content, even included a picture of her puppy, loved it, said that she felt so good after it. And then, so that was Thursday. And then today I woke up and I had this beautiful message from her that she's just enrolled somebody, a client who said that one of the reasons she enrolled with her was because of the beautiful website and all the beautiful content on it. She felt a connection, and now Susan's feeling over the moon. So yay, congratulations, Susan. I'm so pleased. I mean, this stuff works. That's why it's a transformational podcast. If you're willing to apply the tools and the techniques and the journal prompts and things like that, you will get the transformations. And lots of women do. Susan's just on top of my mind because I saw her message this morning. But have a go at the questions that I've shared with you today. See what comes through. Connect with me if you want some guidance or some help with any of this. And have a very happy Saturday. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.